Toronto Maple Leafs fans, the winds of change are gusting through the city once more. For another spring, hopes of ending the team's Stanley Cup drought have been dashed following a devastating Game 7 loss to the Florida Panthers. With the dust barely settled and both Mitch Marner and John Tavares on expiring deals, speculation is at an all-time high. What will this team look like next season? The latest intrigue? Renowned NHL insider David Pagnotta believes Toronto is eyeing $36 million center Brock Nelson as a prime free agency target. Are the Leafs about to commit to a bold new chapter, one that could finally alter their playoff fortunes? Let's break down what's at stake, what Nelson would bring, and why this offseason is shaping up as one of the most pivotal in recent Maple Leafs history. Searching for answers, Maple Leafs' need for a center makeover. Let's start with the raw numbers. Despite having one of the most talented top sixes in hockey, Toronto simply didn't get enough done when it mattered most. With Marner and Tavares now both up for renewal, and general manager Brad Treliving facing serious pressure to reshape the team, the arrival of a fresh center like Brock Nelson makes a lot of sense. David Pagnotta, writing for the Fourth Period, put it plainly. If the Leafs re-signed Tavares, I would not be shocked if they pursued Brock Nelson in free agency to play alongside him, assuming he also hits the market July 1st. Why Nelson? He's coming off a 6-year, $36 million contract, and while with the Colorado Avalanche and New York Islanders last season, he tallied 26 goals and 30 assists across 80 games, good for 56 points. At 6'4", Nelson offers critical size, skill, and a history of stepping up in the playoffs. He would offer a stylistic change from Tavares, playing a heavier, more direct game that could thrive when postseason checking gets tight. The Tavares conundrum, captain's heart versus front office, the future of John Tavares is far from settled. The Toronto native has poured his heart into returning the cup to his hometown, notching 38 goals and 36 assists for 74 points in just 75 games this past season. Tavares has said all the right things. It's meant everything to me. It's been amazing for me and my family. We haven't been able to come through and play well enough to get to where we want to get to. When pressed directly, he affirmed he wants to stay. But with Toronto needing a shakeup and salary projections tight, sentiment may not win out. DailyFaceoff.com projects his next deal to be 3 years at $7.9 million per, manageable for top line. Production, but a decision Toronto must make with eyes wide open about the team's long-term direction. Change at every level. Front office, core, and cap-it isn't just the on-ice roster in flux. Pagnotta points to potential changes at the very top, noting that Maple Leafs president Brendan Shanahan could depart before any restructuring occurs on the ice. Changes are coming in Toronto, that much appears to be evident. What may be unclear is the extent. With over $26.8 million in cap space and multiple expiring contracts, GM Brad Treliving has remarkable flexibility, but also a glaring need to deliver real results. Pagnotta predicts the departure of both Marner and possibly Tavares. This, paired with projected roster overhauls, means longtime Leafs fans could see a brand new squad on opening night. Brock Nelson. What would he bring to Toronto? Nelson fits the bill as a playoff-tested center, hungry for a bigger spotlight. His consistent production, averaging around 25 goals and 55-65 points per season since 2019, complemented by strong two-way play, makes him an attractive option for the Leafs. Second or third line, his size, at 6'4" and over 210 pounds, offers a level of physicality that Toronto sorely missed during the playoffs, and his offensive instincts are well suited to complement either a veteran like Tavares or a young, emerging scoring winger. Atu, an expected contract value of $6-7 million per season, Nelson is reasonably affordable for a team with clear financial flexibility, especially if big names like Marner depart. He'd bring defensive reliability, playoff grit, and a new look that could allow Toronto to diversify its attack. Marner fallout and rainbow of off-season scenarios insiders are nearly certain Mitch Marner won't be back, forced out by cap realities and the hunger for change. This leaves Brad Treliving with a roster that demands creative solutions. Pursuing Nelson doesn't just fill a positional need, it signals ambition. Toronto could anchor its new top two lines with Tavares and Nelson, if both are signed, or transition toward a younger profile and even greater roster flexibility should Tavares also walk. The cap space is there, the public pressure is immense, and the options have never been more wide open. The big picture, will the Maple Leafs finally break through? For all the noise, Toronto remains in a unique spot. A storied franchise with resources, cap space, and a loyal fan base desperate for a real run at the Stanley Cup. Pagnotta's words capture the mood. Change is not a bad thing. It is needed, and it will come. Next season's Maple Leafs squad should look a little different. Whether the front office re-signs Tavares, lets Marner walk, or goes all in on free agent splashes like Brock Nelson, one thing is clear: Toronto will not be standing pat. The question on everyone's mind is whether the next moves finally push the Maple Leafs past decades of playoff frustration, or if another year of disappointment awaits. Leafs off-season decisions hold the key. What's your solution? The next few weeks could tip Toronto into a new era. Will Brock Nelson land in blue and white, becoming the steadying force Toronto has long needed down the middle? Will Tavares return to lead a reimagined core, or is it time for a full-blown rebuild? If you're fired up about the fate of the Leafs and where you want the team to head, hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Should Toronto go after Nelson, extend Tavares, cut ties with Marner, or chart a totally new course? I'm Fabiano, and with every turn of the rumor mill, we'll keep you fully informed and part of the conversation. Stay close for everything Maple Leafs, big moves and big dreams alike.